Good evening. I'm going to be your IELTS instructor tonight. May I ask you what is your name?
My name is Minh Nam.
How do I spell it?
Tran and then Minh Nam.
T-R...
A-N and Minh Nam.
Ming... No.
Yep.
How old are you now?
I am 13 years old.
Do you have any siblings?
I have one brother.
One brother. Older or younger?
Older.
All right. I'd like to talk about where you live. Is that okay?
Okay.
Which town or city do you live in now?
Well, currently I live in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam.
All right. Are there any things that you don't like about your area, and what are they?
Well, the biggest thing I dislike about the city is its sheer amount of traffic and pollution. It's something I have to deal with every morning.
Do you think you'll continue to live there for a long time, and why or why not?
Well, as the capital of Vietnam, Hanoi is pretty much the center of the city, so I don't think I would live anywhere else unless I leave the country.
Okay. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in an apartment.
All right. What is your favorite room in your home, and why?
Well, my favorite room is my bedroom because all my things are in there, like my school stuff, my toys, my books.
All right. Are the people in your neighborhood nice and friendly?
Well, most of my neighbors are nice and friendly because I am friends with them and I've got to learn things about them, except for one of them. But they're not that mean, but they just don't get along with me.
Okay. And then last question I want to ask you before we move on is that the place where you live, is it quiet or noisy?
Well, not a lot of children live around my apartment, and so it's usually quiet.
Okay. Let's move on to part two. And I would like to talk about museums. Do you think that museums are important?
I get to prepare.
No, we're still in part one. That was
Oh.
warm up.
I think museums are quite important because they let people learn about history or culture of certain places that they might not have known about.
Are there many museums in your hometown?
My hometown is quite rural, and so there aren't many museums, so you have to go into the city.
Do you often visit a museum?
Only when I'm on a class trip or on holidays because I'm not that interested in museums.
All right. And then, so when was the last time you visited a museum?
Well, the last time I visited a museum was on a class trip that happened, if I remember correctly, 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So we can move on to part two now. I'll give you time to prepare. And let's talk about a trip you would like to make again. And I'll give you a minute to prepare. Just give me a second. And 1, 2, 3, your time starts now. Okay, you ready? Don't worry if I stop you, okay? You have 2 minutes. Your time starts now.
The trip I want to talk about happened 1 year ago, And this was when me, my family, and my friend's family went to Ho Chi Minh City. This was during summer vacation, and so we stayed there for a week and a half. During this period, we went on a lot of places because Ho Chi Minh is near the ocean, and so of course we went to the beach and we had lots of seafood, which was quite delicious. We also went to some amusement parks, and I personally don't really enjoy amusement parks and the things there like roller coasters. I mostly enjoyed the cafes and the walks there. And we also went to see some shows in theaters, some classical shows like a classical Vietnamese theater, which I think was quite interesting. But the main thing about the trip that I liked the most was when me and my friends went to a convention. This convention held displays of a lot of popular games and shows, and a lot of them I watched, and so I was a big fan of the convention. But I was both excited and anxious because it was my first convention. But in the end, I had a lot of fun. I got to see a lot of people that is also very passionate about the shows and the games, just like me. And I was with my friends, and so it had an extra layer of fun to it. And I want to make this trip again because I think I made quite a lot of there was a lot of awkward moments because I was young, but now I'm grown and a little bit more mature. So I'd like to go to this convention again and to experience it more fully, because I understand it more.
Well done. Okay, let's carry on with talking about trips. Why do people like traveling?
I think traveling can be quite relaxing because it puts you in a setting different from what you're used to. So it can be good for people who are busy or want to relax.
What should we prepare before a trip?
Well, one should prepare for where they're going, where they're staying, and so they know what activities they're doing and what else they have to prepare for, like clothing or equipments, etc.
What would happen if no preparation were made before the trip?
Well, then the trip goer would not know where to go, and most likely they would stay in their hotel room and just they would have to wander around the place they're going to know where to go.
Why do some people prefer to travel in their own country rather than going abroad?
Well, because some people can be scared of new things, and so even though they're going to a new place, but it's still in their country, and so there's still things they're familiar of, so they won't be completely lost.
Okay, well done. Thank you so much for your time.